We're at Brodhead Spillway and we're looking for some giant fish. They've actually cleared an area downstream a little bit, so we're gonna put a pole over there too, but we're gonna fish around here and hopefully we can get a big one. Just to look at the spillway and downstream, I know there's some monsters hiding here. Just don't really know where. There's a lot of log jams right downstream, and we're gonna just throw like a little bit downstream as well. So let's get our baits in the water and see what we can do. Well, we're gonna use the smallest hook we can have in our box. I'm gonna throw it in here under a bobber with a piece of worm. And before we can catch glorious fish, you need glorious fish bait. Now, there's a limited number of glorious fish bait here. So I might actually need to catch a bigger fish later on and cut it up. I'd rather have live bait though, because that's what gets the flatheads more. Flatheads will actually bite cut bait and current, but they're more active with live bait. There's one. There's a glorious fish. Well, okay, that's not that glorious actually. It's just a small green sunfish. But that's good enough. That's good enough. So we need to toss this guy on the other side of the river, because that's where all the big fish are. Okay, that's good. I also need to replace this reel. It's gonna cost me a fish sooner or later. But we'll talk about that later, because reels are a little bit pricey right now. But whatever, we'll get one sooner or later. And we hope something big picks that up. Now that we got that out there, let's just try to get a couple more, because I actually need some bigger ones. I pretty much get tugs as soon as I pull it in, but a lot of them are too small to even really hook on the smaller hook, which is really, really annoying, because they're like micro gills. I do need some of the small trout hooks. I'd be like pulling them up by the dozen. Look at that, I have another pole on the string. What is that? Oh, I think it's a bluegill? No, it's a bass. Smallmouth bass. These are tiny, but there's a lot of these here. I've caught a ton of these. A smallie, better fish, but too small. I can't use this guy as bait, so I'm just gonna let it go. See you, smallie, and it swims off. All right, we're about 15-20 yards downstream. We're gonna toss this larger rock bass here. It's really hard for me to actually toss one from all the way down there up here, so that's why I'm doing this. This is a very good prime spot. It's next to some snags. Well, not really next to some snags, but there's some snags around here, and I think the catfish could be biting here as well. So let's figure this out. Toss my bait a little bit more out there in the wash, and it went down immediately. Oh, this is bigger. It's bigger. What is it? Oh, it's another smallmouth. Smallmouth Haven, Brodhead Spillway. They're not big ones though, not big ones at all. Smallmouth bass. I need bluegills around this size, but I can't use this guy, so I'll see you later, Smallie. Seems like floating a piece of worm down the water with the current is actually a pretty good thing to do. I'm gonna keep doing that. Caught 6 or 7 bluegills, 2 smallies, but no really big fish yet. That is being pulled, but I fear that is a turtle. I've not hit a turtle this year yet, but it looks like I have now. So that's, that is a snag. Nope, it's not a snag, but I'm pretty sure it's a turtle because it's not fighting back. And fish tend to fight back. I was hoping I wouldn't hit them this year here, but it looks like they are here. They're not as prevalent as they were last year here, but they are here, it looks like. Okay, it let go, but that fish is pretty much dead. Yeah, that fish got like bisected in half. That was definitely a snapping turtle. Still somewhat alive, but it got its tail bitten off. But oh well, snappage turtle. The big one is rocking. The big one on this side is rocking. Of course, hopefully there's something good on. That's a bigger fish than what I just threw in. Let's see what it is. Is this a bass? Could definitely be a bass. Oh, it's a catfish, I think. Thought that was a bass, but I got a channel gato fish. Interesting. Channel catfish. All right. Not a bad one. Decent size one, but not what I want. Wanted a monster, but this is not a monster. Maybe a 1 pound eater channel, maybe 1-2 pounds. Channel catfish. I was actually hoping this was a big bass, but a channel catfish, not too bad. Take a look at it. Maybe a pound or 2. Get back into the water, and it gatos on off. It's about getting dark. I'm hiding in the forest between my 2 poles. It's only about like a 25-yard stretch between the two poles, and I just want to cover like the entire area. Also, no one has ever come down here, so if you think this is a crowded spot, it's generally not. Maybe on weekends there'll be one or two, but you know, I haven't really caught any flatheads in this spot. I think I've hooked one before, but I haven't caught any. But I have caught many channels here. All right, we're behind the wastewater treatment plant again, but not nearly as far as we were in last time. The water is probably a foot or two at the most here, but sometimes big fish do hide in shallow water. There's also more minnows around this area, so we're going to throw the bait out and hopefully something hits it. It doesn't take long for something to hit, but I have a feeling this is not what I want. I'm pretty sure this is one of the old, the big turtles, because it's heavy, it's not fighting, and that is a basically method for a big snapper. And yeah, I think I see it right now. Oh no, it's not, it's a flathead. I thought this was a turtle, but it's just a flathead that's actually not that big. And it didn't take my gill, actually. So that didn't take long. Flathead catfish, actually. And okay, it shook my gill loose, unfortunately, so I lost the bluegill. But flathead guttofish, you see that? Oh man, this area isn't bad. Not any huge ones right now, but definitely got one. Flathead catfish. So there is actually enough, water here for these flatheads. Flathead guttofish. Looks like I completely underestimated how much water there needs to be for a flathead to come. There must be no more than 2 feet of water there, but this is about a 1 or 2 pound flathead guttofish. Only took me a minute or two to get it, but flathead catfish. All right, not the size I wanted, but at least I got one here, and it's a lot better than not getting one. I think I'm just gonna go down here and let it go. It's not too muddy down here, and it's gonna just do that. It's gonna just hold on and slide on off. Get stuck on that branch a little bit, but yeah, it's gonna just meld into the sugar river. I'm gonna toss my last and probably smallest bluegill into the sugar. That's last live bait. I got some worms. I really need them, but I'm hoping this live bait catches me more catfish, more flatheads. Hoping there's more than one here, because I just got here like 2 minutes ago. Flathead catfish. All right. There are a bunch of worms out there, and I think we already got a hit here. Don't know what it is, but that's a fish. I believe it's probably a carp since it was worms. It's not fighting like a carp though. Carp would dart like crazy. It's actually heavy. The heck? Oh, it's a sucker. Well, that's what I thought it was. There's a lot of suckers around this area. But hey, not bad. White sucker. I was hoping it was another flathead, or even a walleye, but hey, another sucker. That's actually a fairly large one. That is, I believe, a silver red horse. Probably bigger than the flathead we just caught. Silver red horse. Not my biggest one, but a nice size one. Especially, you know, red horses can live in like half a foot of water, but it's about 2-3 feet here, I think, in the middle. Just gonna put this guy back in. I don't think he's gonna need to revive too much. Maybe he does. Maybe he needs a little bit more water. There he is. There he goes. There he goes. Following the current on down. See you, red horse. All right, we got one channel, one flathead, a sucker, a couple of small bass behind Brodhead today. It was not a bad day. I didn't get the giant monster, but the water on the sugar is very, very low. This path behind the sanitation thing is really worth taking a couple of days to explore, and we're going to do that in the upcoming weeks. I am determined to get a monster on the Sugar River. I don't really care if it's in Wisconsin or in Illinois. I know several places where I may be able to do so. So, hope you enjoyed watching this. Ask me any questions that you want, and maybe I'll see you out on the Sugar or in another river. I will see you guys next time. Please like and subscribe.